Welcome to the channel, More Dirt, More Distance. My name is Rodney. In this video, I'm going to do a walkthrough of the Opus OP4 camper. I'm going to walk through some of the features, how to set up and break down, and to attach it for towing. Also, if you are interested in renting the trailer and you happen to be in Colorado, you can do that through outdoorsy.com. I'll put a link down in the description. Let's go ahead and take a look at the camper. I'm going to start with showing some of the exterior features and then move to how to set it up. Here is the control panel. I'll go over all these buttons a little later in the video. Down here is the connections for the propane and water for the outdoor kitchen. And here is the slide out for the outdoor kitchen. Here we have a 12-volt socket and two 12-volt mini outlets. And in here is the 12-volt refrigerator. There's two spots for jerry cans if you want to carry extra fuel or water, and a 20-pound propane tank. Okay, around the back here we have the spare tire carrier, and right down here is a connection for a solar panel. Moving over to the other side, this is a shower, and right down here we have gas and water connections for the water heater, and we have our fill points for the two 20-gallon water tanks for the rear and the front. And on the other side here we have a storage bin. Here is the shore power connection. The camper comes with a cable and an adapter to use it for a campsite or to charge it at home. I'll go over that in a little bit. Attached to the cargo rack is the privacy curtain for the shower, and in this black box here is the water heater. I'm going to show you how to attach the camper to your vehicle for towing. One thing you may notice that is different about this unit is it doesn't use a standard ball hitch. It uses a DO35 Cruise Master. So here's the DO35 Cruise Master. Right here is a lock button and a lock plate, and that is what's going to secure the camper to the vehicle. If you push, you see the plate shoots out and keeps it secure. When you need to open it, you push the lock pin, slide it back, unleash the pin, and that keeps it open. Here's the 7-pin plug. We have our trailer chains. So here is the tongue jack. It's a heavy-duty off-road tongue jack. This is not actually the one I got when I purchased the unit. I ended up damaging mine, but the reason why I decided to get this one instead of just replacing the one that came with the unit is because this one actually completely comes off, and you just lower the trailer on to the hitch. So you can see that the piece there is securely in the hitch, and you push the lock button, and now it is nice and tight. You want to put the dust cover on there. So the next thing you want to do is connect the safety chains, and it has this D-ring shackle to connect to the vehicle. You can see when I connected the safety chain, I twisted it a little bit so that way they wouldn't hang so low on the ground, and get a crisscross pattern, and they connect to the vehicle here using the D-ring shackles. This is the handbrake cable. If for some reason the trailer becomes separated from the vehicle, this will help pull the handbrake and hopefully slow down the camper. It connects here. Here we have the 7-pin plug. Goes right into the vehicle. Once you have the tongue jack completely lowered, you can pull on this handle. Once you have it set like this, you have a couple of options. You can pull the pin that keeps it in place and completely remove it and put it in the back of your vehicle. Or if there's no space, you rotate it, put the locking pin in. The reason why you want to set it up like this with the wheels exactly how they are is you don't want anything hanging any lower than necessary. The last thing you have to do is release the handbrake. Now you're all set up. Check the brake lights and the blinkers on the trailer to make sure your 7-pin is working properly. Once you get to your campsite, remember to chock the wheels, pull up on the handbrake. Trying to get the camper level can be tricky, but there is a level here to help you. Now that the camper is disconnected from the vehicle, it's time to get it set up. At first, it seems like a lot of steps, but the more you do it, the quicker you go through it, it ends up not being too bad. You start by raising the cargo rack. There's 2 latches. Pull out these D-pins. You go around to the other side of the camper, and we have these locking pins here. Remove those. Now all you have to do is pull back on the cargo rack and the gas struts, make it really easy. And then you want to take the locking pins that you removed to secure the cargo rack into place. On the passenger side, you want to release all 3 latches. On the driver's side, you have 4. And now you want to lower the spare tire carrier, and that is held up by 2 small latches, 1 on each side. After you release the latches, the spare tire carrier will go down, and you're going to want to pull out these stabilizing bars, and you can just rest them here on the tire. Now we can unfold the camper. You want to start with the front side. And the gas struts make it nice and easy to unfold. And just kind of guide it down here, and it's going to rest on the rock guard here. There's a latch here on the front that you use to secure the top to the front. The process is similar for the back, but we're going to use these pins to secure to those braces. So you can see here that the locking pin is used to secure the top to this brace. Now you're ready to inflate the camper, and to do that you want to go over here to the control panel. I almost forgot a very important step before you inflate the camper, is that there are 5 valves that you have to make sure you close to make sure the camper will actually inflate. You got to make sure that all 5 are closed, and they're all on the driver's side of the camper. So here we have the control panel. You want to turn this red key to turn it on, and this black button right here is to inflate the camper. You push it, the compressor is going to kick on, and it will start inflating the unit. There is no power off for the air compressor. It automatically switches off once the proper air pressure is reached. So go ahead and push this. Once it is inflated, you just kind of go around to the corners and pull them down, and got some straps to secure. So here we have the stabilizer legs, and we'll make sure you get all 4 of those down. To release those, you pull on the blue handle here, and that releases the pin. It comes with this socket. Do that on all 4 sides. Here we have the door, and it comes with this key here. Folds down, and you can adjust the height of the stairs to make sure they're secure and they get all the way to the ground right here. Now we'll see about setting up the kitchen. The kitchen's in here, and there's 2 spring bolts that keep the slide out kitchen in place. Pull those in, pull it out. Once it's fully extended, you lift a little bit and pull it down, and that locks it into place. Underneath the slide out is a switch here to release the support leg. And to adjust the support leg, you loosen these screws here. Okay, that slides down. Once you have it at the height you need, you just tighten the screws back up. We have a slide out here for additional prep space. We have the fold away dish rack. There's LED lights, and there's also LED lights into the strip. To turn the LED lights on, you take these mini 12-volt outlets, plug them in there. And of course you want to make sure that you have the light switch turned on the control panel. Raise the nozzle for the sink. You have this stove here that has wind protectors. And here is a drawer for all your utensils, and another drawer for utensils in storage. And here is where you'll find the quick connects for the water and gas, and also a drainage hose. And you can pull them all through the bottom. To connect the water and the gas, you use the provided quick connect hoses. The blue one is for cold water, and it's going to connect to the blue color connection on the slide out kitchen. The red is for hot water, but in order to run hot water from the back from the heater up to here, you'll need a special hose that you'd have to order from Opus. Plug it into the quick connects. Here is the gas connection. Right now the gas is in the off position. To turn it on, of course you want to make sure you turn it on at the propane tank. Once it's on at the propane tank, you pull that up and make it parallel to the connection there. So you got the gas here. So now the gas is running from the tank up to the kitchen to be able to run the burner. In the red quick connect for hot water, you don't need unless you have the special hose to run water from the hot water heater to this side of the camper. Okay, now check out the 12-volt fridge. It's in this storage bin here, and it is held in there with a sliding drawer. You pull it out. It comes with straps and these hooks. That way you can secure the fridge in place, so it's not being rocking and rolling around when you're hitting the trail. Right here is a fan, and in order to keep the refrigerator cool and using less power, you can kick on this fan and it'll help get air circulating in this compartment, especially on a hot day. You can also just open this door to get airflow in, but this is just keeping the actual fridge in the cabinet to keep it out of the sun. That way the fridge isn't working any harder than necessary and using up any more power than necessary. Here is the fridge with the straps on it. This is the shore power cable, and it comes with an adapter to be able to hook it up to your home. So when this is being stored in my garage, I have it constantly hooked up to power in the house, and the Opus recommends always leaving it connected to power. Here is the shore power connection. Screw it on. Here is the hot water heater and the privacy curtain. You're gonna have a couple of hoses to connect. This black is the quick connect for the propane. This clear hose is to connect to the water, to run water through the heater. And this is the nozzle. In order to get hot water from the heater to the front of the camper to use on the kitchen, you need additional hose that you have to purchase from Opus that will connect in. So the only way to get hot water is through this unit right here. To connect the hot water heater, you take the water hose, put it into the blue. You take the gas hose, plug it into the gas. So when you're ready to use it, you want to make sure the water is set to max, and you want to have your heat set to min. And this actually turns on by reading the water pressure, and you would take the water nozzle and you turn it to on, and then once you turn it to on, you hear the heater click on and ignite, and you should get hot water. If for some reason the water starts to cool down, turn it off, turn it back on, you hear kick back on again, and give you your hot water. And over here is another shower connection. I was like, why is there two? So this one will run cold water. If you use a special connection, you can get hot water through it. I would use this one. Use this one for showering, and this is good if you just need like to rinse off your feet or the dog or something. Open up the shower here so you can see. It has a nozzle, cold and hot knobs. 40 gallons of water goes faster than you would think, so if you are going to use it to shower, you got to make your showers quick. Here's the control panel. You turn it on with this red key. Goes right in there and you turn it. The light comes on. Right here is your water level in your 2 water tanks. Right here is a breaker for each of these power switches. And here we have a 12-volt socket. This is the switch for the water pump. This is for the power plugs. Here's for the fridge, the lights, and the heater. For the inverter, here's the battery level. Here's the volts. Right now it's at 13.2 volts. You're going to need typically 12.2 to be able to run anything. You go down. This is how many amps are being used currently. Here's how many amp hours are left. The unit comes with 200 amp hour batteries. I don't know what that means. Moderating your power is going to be important if you're doing dispersed camping. I've done long weekends and been able to get by with just the 2 batteries, but you have to be really diligent about managing your power. If you're not using things, turn it off. If I'm up in the mountains where it's cold, I may even turn off the fridge at night. Okay, now that everything is set up on the outside, show you on the inside how to get that set up. On each side is a full-size bed, and it has straps to keep the mattress in place, so when you fold it up it stays in place. There's straps on both sides. Right in here is the light switch, so make sure you have the lights turned on the power switch, but there's a light switch there, and you have the LED light strip at the top. Here is a little storage space. We can store a few things. There's a 12-volt outlet there, and a standard power outlet also. Over here on the other side is the other full-size bed. Over here we have a couple of USB connections, the mini 12-volt outlet. Over here is the cassette toilet. Instructions about how to use it on the lid. And also got a few of these, also a storage container here. We have another small storage container here. You flip this up. Underneath here is the air compressor. These actually are inserted around the camper at a few points where there is some gaps. Here's how it's supposed to look when the seating is set up. When you're trying to figure out which cushions go where, there's a few things that you want to use as clues. You want the kind of like this red decorative trim to line up. There is Velcro pieces that are used to keep everything in place. So you know that this cushion goes on this bench because it has the 2 Velcro pieces. There will be Velcro connections in between there. This connection down here is used to secure the table. I'll show you that next. Okay, to assemble the table, you take this long piece here, and you have these slots. Okay, so that slides in there, and to tighten it, you use this switch down there. Next we have the smaller piece. Now it's time for the table. You can see the table here as a peg, and that is going to fit into our spot there. So now you're all set up with the seats in the table. Here we have a few interior light switches, a fire extinguisher, and right here at the entrance is the smoke detector. Here we have the propane / carbon monoxide detector, and above it here is the heater. Now I'll go over how to use the heater. push the button to turn it on. You use the dial to move between settings. So when you're trying to set the temperature, you want it on the flashing van there. Push the button, it says off. Then you would turn the dial to get to whatever temperature you want. And now the fan is set to auto. And you can change that also by going over to the fan setting, press it auto. Night, that's going to be a little quieter. You want to make sure that you have the propane turned on, and you also, when you're at the control panel, you have the heater turned on, and then you will hear the blower kick on within a few seconds. Then give it a little bit longer and you will hear the heater ignite, and then you should be getting nice warm air. Okay, I want to show the setup with the King Bed extension. You take the middle larger back cushion and lay it down. The two side back cushions come down, you turn them to the side, and that way it will fit. You notice that there's a slight height difference there. That's where this piece comes in, and now you're all set up for the King extension. And with the King, you don't need the tabletop here. You only need the tabletop if you're going to try to sleep 6. The issue is that the diagram that came in my manual does not work on my cushions. I don't know why, but I did a lot of messing around, and this is the closest that I could get. I'll show it here. In this layout, the seating mattress is pushed back. This right here in the center was the main piece, the main back piece, and here on each side were the side back pieces, and you do not use the cushions that were to sit on the sides. So this is as close as I could get to the additional sleeping area, and there's these little bolster pieces that I shoved in to the sides over there. When you're ready to pack everything up, the key is to get the cushions broken down and put away. I'll show you how to do that. When you're ready to pack everything up, you take the corner cushions and you slide them underneath the table. Right here is the King extensions that you put on top of the corner cushions, fits underneath the table. Right here are the 3 back cushions, so everything's nice and low. Once you're ready to pack everything up, you got to remember to unplug the 5 valves that you tightened to inflate. Now after it's deflated, now for what could be one of the more difficult parts is getting it closed back up. But one of the best things to do is make sure you have the cushions right, and then you just want to shove as much of it into the center as possible, and make sure you don't pinch any of it when you're closing up the top. This is definitely easier with 2 people, but 1 person can do it also. Okay, so I'm gonna get all of this inside. You want to make sure you have the valves open. Okay, we're going to do the rear first. Make sure you remove these seats. You don't want to do that. There we go, that's better. Okay, lift this up. And as I'm lifting it up, I'm kind of making sure everything is getting there, pushed over to the side. I'm not going to get pinched. Get one of the latches on. Get as much into the center as possible. But you have to remember, you have the latch over here on the side we have to detach. And then up, nice and easy. Okay, I got it all folded down. For the most part, it went pretty well, but with the front side, I still had to put some body weight into it. You secure all the latches, put your D-pins in there to make sure everything is secure, and then you are ready to drop the cargo carrier. Remember, we have these locking pins on both sides. Once you have the locking pins, you just push the cargo rack over, take the locking pin, put them back in here. The last thing left to do is secure the cargo rack. And it's always nice to do a walk around. You gotta make sure you got everything put away and locked up. Well, that's everything from setting up to breaking down. I hope this video was helpful.